Come in immediately. I'm going to wait for you. For those of you who don't have the notification bell on, that is not a good thing. Go ahead and hit the notification bell. What's up, TT's bestie? I see you. I'm waiting on you guys to come in. Yeah. No, he did not make it, Danny's Divas. He didn't make it. So, as you guys can see by the title here, how many are you here? 80 people. How many are in here? Let's see. Okay, I can't see the numbers. Okay, 158. All right. So DMX, unfortunately, has confirmed passed away. Okay. As you guys can see here in this report on this headline, this is so devastating. DMX was only 50 years old. 50 years old, literally. You know, a very aggressive rapper, but very sensical lyricist in the things that he said and the message that he was trying to prove, or the message that he was trying to give us through his music. He was known, of course, as DMX name Earl Simmons, of course. Passed away today. So I told you guys that I thought that he was already passed away yesterday and that the family needed the night to grieve it and that they were going to let us know today. That I felt like they walked us through the setup. They said, well, you know, DMX is not doing well. You know, he's had a heart attack. He's overdosed. Then they said, there could be a glimmer of hope. He's on life support. Then they tried to say he was off life support. Then they said he was still on life support. They were going to run tests. Then they came and they said the test said that proved that he had absolutely no brain function. And now he has passed away. Okay. Here's what people said, or actually I'm going to keep this on his face. Let me go over here. Hold on. Let me just press in DMX. Okay. Let's get an updated picture of him on here. All right. And he was so beautiful when he was young, too. I'm talking about fine. All right, DMX, you did your thing, man. All right. Here's what they're saying, okay? He passed away on Friday at White Plains Hospital in White Plains, New York, after he suffered a heart attack that was induced by a drug overdose at years old. Here was the official announcement. They said, quote, "We are deeply saddened to announce today that our loved one DMX, birth name of Earl Simmons, passed away at 50 years old in White Plains Hospital with his family by his side after being placed on life support for the past few days. Earl was a warrior who fought to the very end. He loved his family with all of his heart, and we cherish the time we spent with him. Earl's music inspired countless fans across the world, and his iconic legacy will live on forever. We appreciate all of the love and support during this incredibly difficult time. Please respect our privacy as we grieve the loss of our brother, father, uncle, and the man the world knew as DMX. We will share information about his memorial service once details are finalized." And that came from his family, the second portion of that. On Friday, April 2nd, Simmons was rushed to the hospital, and by Saturday morning, the lawyer, Murray Richmond, confirmed that he was in a coma and on life support in the critical care unit of the hospital. He said, quote, "Last night, Earl DMX Simmons was rushed to the hospital after collapsing at his home. At this time, he remains in ICU in critical condition." The rapper, whose brain was reportedly deprived of oxygen for 30 minutes following the medical emergency, remained in a vegetative state while the family and friends gathered outside the hospital for a prayer vigil. Following a battery of brain test function, following a battery of brain function tests, The rapper was taken off of life support via per his family today, Friday, April 9th, 2021. DMX's two decade y'all excuse me. DMX's 2 decade plus career was beset by legal issues, tabloid headlines, and a struggle with addiction, which he was open to telling us all of those stories very truthfully. He definitely shared with his fans. But he was also one of the most successful hardcore rappers to ever cross over to the mainstream stage. An artist with a huge cultural impact, an influence that extended well beyond his core audience, and a powerful artistic style of passionate urgency. You have to understand that DMX, he switched over into acting. I mean, he acted besides Steven Seagal and Jet Li. So he has an audience that we couldn't even imagine in places that we couldn't even imagine. His arrival in the mid 1990s coincided with hip hop's emergence as a commercialized global phenomenon. DMX provided a grimy counter narrative to the glossy, big budget sheen of the era's most popular rap. He also revitalized the Def Jam label, inadvertently provided blueprints for Jay-Z's own popular breakthrough, and developed a career as a charismatic film star in movies like Belly, Romeo Must Die, and Exit Wounds. Yet DMX is remembered today for his gripping music, which matched his aggressive machismo with an emotional sincerity that resonated around the world. Although his persona fit a familiar hip hop archetype, DMX was a muscular street rapper. Thank you, Nikki, who sold rugged credibility with an aggressive edge. His approach to rapping was radical, compared to other styles at this time. And that's true. When we first heard DMX and when he said, oh, oh, yeah, baby, we was like, wait a minute. That's kind of cool, but that's kind of radical. It was very different for rap at that time. His voice rose and fell with a preacher's cadence. The tones of his vocal bleeding raw at the surface. His verses were punctuated with growls and barks, yet his art was too earnest for those elements to scan as gimmickry, right? So because those were kind of corny things to do, because he was so real, so true, so raw and relatable, it didn't make him corny. The gaveling texture and loose rhythms of his rapping, he often seemed less interested in writing the groove than confidently forcing it to follow his lead. He gave the songs an urgent, unrehearsed feeling. Tupac Shakur was gone and there was a void, Kendrick Lamar said to Complex in 2012. Kendrick said something was missing in the game, and DMX came in and he filled all that. When DMX first hit mainstream in America, it had been 2 years since Tupac's death, and his success was propelled by an urgent lodging in the collective psyche. But as Marcus Reeves argued in his 2008 book, Somebody Scream, DMX took his own path, shifting from the socio-political to the spiritual. Christian themes permeated it throughout his work, much more openly than in Tupac's work. But what gave his art the most potent energy was how he believably and accessibly reconciled strength with vulnerability. As he told MTV's Carson Daly on Total Request Live in 1999, the toughest guy have the biggest hearts. But you got to be like that to protect your heart because the heart is soft. You got to be a guy to keep safe. You got to be a tough guy to be safe. Earl Simmons was born December 18th, 1970. In Mount Vernon, New York, the child of Arnett Simmons and Joe Barker. Arnett was 19 years old and he was her second child. His father, an artist who had attended high school with Arnett, was soon out of the picture. Arnett moved that family to Yonkers, New York, where he endured a deeply troubled childhood, beset by poverty and abuse, and was in and out of group homes and eventually in jail. And you know what I always wondered about DMX is why he was born and he obviously died in New York, but why didn't he leave? You know how many people say you should get rich and get out? Don't stay in the places that you grew up in. You know, DMX, I'm sure that the neighborhoods there, they're like, DMX a crackhead. You know, DMX was a crackhead, you know, because they feel like they know differently than the world knows. I don't feel like he should have still been there. He should have definitely been out of sight of New York for sure. Um, let's see. He said, quote, I never had many friends in Yonkers. That's what he said to MTV News. He said, I never had many friends, period. And that he struggled with drugs and became a stick-up kid. He said, quote, I robbed N words. He told that to Rolling Stone. He said, I'm not ashamed of that. That's my stuff. Robbery. I'm a hustler. I tried it. That's not me. I'd rather do some stick-up stuff. But what got me over was I had a rep in Yonkers. N words knew DMX would get you, and I would be straight up robbing N words. No mask or nothing. Half of my weapon was my face. I would just walk up on N words like, yo, let me get that. I was the biggest N word in the world. I wasn't the biggest N word in the I'm sorry. He would walk up on N words like, yeah, let me get that. I wasn't the biggest N word in the world. I couldn't beat everybody, but dog, my rep superseded me. Like his reputation superseded him. And you guys know that even when DMX was very well and rich, he still did commit a $400,000 robbery and went to jail for it. So he just really liked robbing folk. In the mid 1980s, and that's what I'm talking about with DMX. He just kept it real. Like he's not lying. He telling you flat out, yeah, I rob niggas. Like I walk up with my face and a weapon, and half my weapon is my face. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just kept it so real about his drug use and all of his. He didn't lie. He just never lied. Okay. So somebody get this person, thank you, and get them out of here. Make sure they don't come back. So in the mid 80s, he beatboxed for Brooklyn rapper Reddy Ron before writing his own personal therapeutic verses. Although DMX received a cosign from the Source's Unsigned Hype column in 1991, he struggled at first to gain his success. An idea or a deal with Columbia subsidiary Rough House led him to a fail in 1992. So he put out an album in 1992 called Born Loser, and it was unsuccessful, as well as the next one he put out in 1995. So that's when he was with a Columbia subsidiary label Rough House. And I'm glad that he left there. So after leaving there, he became the primary cause of Irv Gotti's Domingo Lorenzo Jr., that's his real name, of Def Jam. And Def Jam is, of course, a really big label. They did a arrangement with Jay-Z. They did a deal with the label. And here's what he said, quote, this guy comes into my office saying, the only way N-word's going to dance is like this, Russell Simmons told Vibe magazine in 2008. He started bouncing because that was the vibe DMX and Ja Rule had. First meeting I ever had, I was like, we got to sign DMX. And they laughed at me. Gotti told Complex this in 2015. Jay-Z and Dame Dash did not believe in DMX at all. I said, if you look in the hood, there's less N-words like you and more N-words like him. Gotti's enthusiasm came in part from the rapper's new single, Get At Me Dog, which originally had been a freestyle made for DJ Clue's tape, which also featured the Locks. Then Def Jam's executive Julie Greenwald told Vibe magazine in 2008, Gotti played the song Get At Me Dog for her, and she was like, this is going to sell like 5 million. And she was like, Irv, you're out of your mind. Let me see. So the Irv Gotti then went back to the top executives, which was Liar Cohen, Kevin Liles, Dame Dash, Jay-Z, and they went up to Yonkers to let DMX freestyle for them. Thank you, Queen Miss. I can't see your name no more. Sorry, baby, but thank you, Queen. But so then they went up to New York. They all flew out to New York to let DMX do a freestyle for them. And DMX at that time had gotten socked in the face. He had gotten jumped by 10 dudes. And so he had a wire on his jaw. But DMX performed his song with his jaw wired shut. And that is what eventually got him hired by Def Jam's label. So the 1998 video for Get At Me Dog got no MTV play after DMX refused to allow them to censor his video. Yet the song became a rallying cry for hip hop's axis of gritty realism. In the era of flashy chains and a lot of spending, a lot of money spending. Okay, DMX was an everyman, so he was like very relatable. He said, here's a quote: "You can't take money with you to heaven, baby." That's what he told Source Magazine. He said, "Only love." Um, and by the end of that album debut, It's Dark and Hell is Hot is what it was called. It went 4 times platinum, 1 million shy of the 5 million mark that Irv Gotti had promised that it was going to sell. But yeah, Def Jam definitely got behind him. He said, here's a quote. This is what Gotti told Complex about Jay-Z. He said, Jay-Z looked and seen what I did with DMX and was like, holy crap. Oh, holy SHIT. That SHIT worked. DMX's first 5 albums, including 1998's Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, and then 1999's And Then There Was X, all debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts. And his 2006 Year of the Dog, again, missed the #1 spot by a few hundred copies. His work crossed over beyond hardcore hip-hop fans. And DMX noticed telling Spin magazine in 2000, no, this is in 2000, he said this. He said, I will never compromise my work. What I say, I mean it. But sometimes you have to speak to people who don't necessarily who think that they are your audience just because they like you. His team successfully marketed his work across all demographics. For 1999's What's My Name, the video transplanted X's world to a set based upon Lenny Kravitz's Are You Gonna Go My Way video. His career slowed down in the mid-2000s with his substance abuse issues often the blame. He suggested that in 2012 that Jay-Z, with whom he had a long rivalry with after this point, who had become the head of Def Jam, had intentionally held his material from the public. And since that time, DMX have appeared on reality TV, a format that is really friendly to his realistic and confessional paths, because he does a lot of confessing and telling us a lot of stuff about himself, which I adore about him. I really do. But he's had frequent, run-ins with the law, including being arrested for identity theft, animal cruelty, and impersonating a federal agent. But his music is such a major influence to hip-hop, both for underground rappers, especially for underground rappers, and for superstars, commercial rappers. Here's another quote from Kendrick Lamar. That's the first album that got me writing. I wrote my first lyrics to that album at 13 or 14. I just got inspired and started writing. So DMX will always have one of my favorite albums. And you know what? I think that that's true for DMX for a lot of these rappers. I think that, there's so many people that looked up to him that he don't even know. He don't even know them, And that's why this is such a tragedy. So, however, the past 5 years of DMX's life, he's had so many issues. In 2017, he was arrested for that tax fraud. And then in 2019, he was supposed to come back to the stage, and he did that, but then he was arrested because he performed, drunk, and he was on a parole, and that was one of the conditions of his parole. He canceled a bunch of concerts in order to return back to rehab. He said, quote, I'm going to commit to putting my family and sobriety first, and I'm checking myself into rehab. I apologize for the canceled shows and I thank fans for their continued support. That is what he said. So in July of 2020, he did a face-off versus battle against Snoop Dogg. Okay, and this was his final performance. This was it. This, and who knew that? This was his final performance. This was it right here. You know, like I'm saying, you just never know when your last moment is. Who would have known that this was the last time we'll see that man holding a microphone? This is it. That's it. Okay? It just very, very heartbreaking, okay? Um, but yeah, he's going to be remembered for the legacy that he is. Here's what he once told MTV. He said, I'm a free spirit. I could go with no direction. Just go. And I'll just find what I find and end up where I end up. I'll just end up there. And there is never a bad place because you always going to learn something for it. So sometimes I'm just going with the wind. And we can see that in some of his behaviors. Um, but it's just a tragedy, a straight tragedy that he would pass on um, in this manner. So I don't know if you guys heard this or not. And this is I'm just throwing this in there at the last minute, child. So now I'm hearing rumors that are, I don't know who, I'm not even going to say no names, honey. I don't know who told this person this, but I'm not going to say no names. But apparently Jada Pinkett Smith had a relationship during her marriage with DMX. And apparently that's supposed to be circulating soon or something like that. Or she's supposed to be making a statement to clear it up. I'm like, what? We don't want to hear it. Honestly, I don't care. I'm going to be real with you. I could care less. Um, and so I don't want to hear it. I don't feel like that should be something that should be talked about at this time while we're grieving his passing. But I really hope that they don't. And I know that came from another blog, but I really, really hope that they don't. That story doesn't pick up too much. But that was horrible. Honestly, that's horrible. Well, guess what? When I pass away, people are going to be saying the same thing about me. All the stuff that I did wasn't perfect. I've been back and forth to jail myself. I have not been perfect my damn self. And so, you know, um, what I will say is that he lived his life. That's what life is. Life is built for ups and downs. That's what life does. Um, and so right now, this is just incoming right now from my computer screen. I'm hearing that there's a large visual that is, they're meeting, they're surrounding the hospital and doing a visual for DMX right now in Yonkers. No, why it says Yonkers? Okay, I think they mean the other hospital where he is. I don't know if they're in Yonkers or at a hospital surrounding it, or if they're at his birth hospital, or if they where he is now. Because right now I believe he's in White Plains, but they just told me Yonkers, so I don't know. Um, what? Okay, BBC. Um, hold on, let me see. Before I let you guys go, I just want to make sure that I don't miss any incoming reports. Okay. Um, wait a minute. Let's see. So you guys know what we can expect now, right? So we're gonna be seeing a lot of footage of, the funeral, a lot of statements, a lot of celebrities making statements. We're going to be seeing documentaries. So just expect it, because that's what's coming. Let me see what everybody's saying. We will miss you. It's one of his songs. Yeah, this is pretty sad, y'all. This is pretty sad. Wisdom, you guys know Wisdom, the lady, Wisdom, she posted. Rest well, King. Yvette posted Enjoy Heaven. Eve said that I know you are in a place of peace you deserve. I will be forever grateful to have known you. You are one of the most special people I've ever met, full of humor, talent, wisdom, and love, most of all, loyalty. This world has lost a real one, but the heavens have gained an angel. May you rest well. Rough Riders family. And you guys know that Eve is definitely part of Rough Riders family. Oh. So yeah, I'm just kind of looking down just to see who posted. Revolt TV, a message from DMX. Oh, okay. DC Young Fly, I thank God for allowing me to meet another angel. Was truly an inspiration to us all. Wow. Carlos King, producer for Bravo Housewives. He says, I wanted to share this story only to let the world know who he was outside of music. DMX sets a deal with Kingdom Reign Entertainment for exclusive docuseries. Oh, okay, okay. So I told you guys to start expecting the docuseries to come. X decided to work with me on a docuseries because he trusted I would do right. He flew to LA and was on time for every single meeting. He charmed all the networks. He told me he wanted to show the world who he really was. He wanted to get his life back on track and document it. But we were not able to complete the project due to the tax sentence. I adored him and he was special. Rest in heaven, X. Rest in heaven, and I know you're up there preaching already. He's an angel. Prayers to his family and team. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Jamal Bryant says, DMX, a true soldier for his generation, has exchanged his bike for wings. A rough rider has made a smooth transition. Thank you for showing us black men. Thank you for showing black men it's okay to pray. Because you were saved, I'll never have to ask where my dog at. Rest in peace, DMX. Oh my God, it's making me too sad. I've been so emotional lately.
So I won't. It'll be like we went for a while without seeing each other.
Oh my God, y'all. Oh no. Oh my God. This is so sad. Aaliyah's definitely happy to have you. Aaliyah, they can hang out in heaven. I'm going to have to log off for today. This is just too much. I'm not crying. You are. Y'all finna have me crying. Yeah, they did. I think the Shade Room did. They made it hit different with the Aaliyah song and all that at the end. And then DMX saying that he not going to leave us. He just say, see us later. Oh my God, no. Ooh, Jesus. Okay. That was a lot. That was very emotional. I don't know why they did that. Today is a sad day in hip hop. We lost an iconic rapper, DMX. He one of the first rappers to introduce me to rap music at a young age. There will never be another rapper like Darkman X again. Gone, but never forgotten. Yes, so true. Look at this. Look at all these people. DMX, I'm telling you, DMX had fans. He had a reach that was different because he was more than just a rapper. It was the relativeness, the way that he just was so open with his life and just, you know what I mean, and just related to everybody. So this is a really big loss. This is a really big loss. I'm really just sad. I really am. This is so sad. Um, yeah, so just trying to see. Cameron, man, y'all don't even know, but again, yeah, you do. Yeah, this is so sad. Look at that. Mm. Oh, DMX. Mm, yeah. So, you guys, just keep his family in your prayers. I know they are toe up because I don't know him personally and I have tears in my eyes. So, I mean, I know they toe up. I know they are. Irv Gotti, who is very important to hear from. Irv Gotti is who fought for him to be on Def Jam, which he resurrected they label. We just heard me tell that story. So Irv Gotti says, I love you, Earl. I love you, dog. I love you, X. And it's dog love, which means I love you no matter what. I cried for you, Earl, but you with God now. No more fighting demons, no more thinking of your past. Remember, you guys, he was plagued with he had post-traumatic stress syndrome from his mother abusing him as a child, and he never let that go. He always had that on his mind. No more thinking about your past. No more thinking about how you was raised and the things you had to endure. You're at peace now. Let me say that again. You are at peace now. And your mans still love you. God is with you now. And here he is with his dogs. You know. He was rough. So I imagine he was a little rough with his pets. You know. He was a rough guy. He lived his life, and he told the truth about it. Never lied, not once about it. Benzino says, rest in peace. Yeah, guys, this is so crazy. Lena Waith, she says, you will always live in our hearts. You mean so much to so many. Your posters adorned my walls. Your body dripping in fake blood is one of them. You were the most sensitive rapper I ever heard. Your prayers stuck with me. Your tears told me it was okay to cry. You showed us that we don't need water to grow, just sheer grit and determination and undying faith. Thank you for giving us so much of yourself for so long. Rest well, King. I am just hurt. I do want to know what Snoop Dogg had to say since he was the last one who performed with him. He haven't said anything, look like. Look like he said anything. Well, that's sad. I'll be waiting to see what Snoop Dogg says, if anything. But you know what? I want to know. Let's see. Cause I didn't really tune into it. Y'all know I'll be doing a lot of other things. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna turn my phone this way. This website got too much going on. Look at what Lord. I just want to know who won. And this was on July 22nd. Okay.
Caution and dogs with a
All right. Wait. Uh-oh. They showing us some stuff.
from the night.
Yeah, I can't do all that. They can't just tell me who won and that just be it. It got to be all of this, huh? All right, Billboard.
Plus, who we crowned the champ. For Billboard News, I'm
Wait.
one winner, and Billboard has spoken. Head to Billboard.com to view our scorecard. Plus, who we.
Oh my gosh, Lord Jesus. Do they have a scorecard for this? Ugh, this is so annoying. Let me try to go to Versus and see what it says. Because I can just go to Versus, child. I could go to Versus TV, or maybe it'll just be right up here. We'll see. They usually have scorecards just right here. Where is the scorecard? What is this? Oh. No, he not DMX. See how disrespectful people are? They hashtagging DMX's name to market their music. Oh my Lord. Okay. All right, let's try to go to Versus TV and see if they can just have it right here, and it ain't got to be that complicated. That's the Isley Brothers. When was this back in? This was in July. Let me see. Oh, Jesus. Let me see. So wait, I know it was after Ashanti. That's January. That's January 23rd. That's still January. That's March. That's still March. Getting closer. Oh no. What happened? Oh, they deleted it? I mean, I guess that's respectful. Did they? Where's the scorecard? It looks like they deleted DMX's scorecard. I guess that's the respectful thing to do. I mean, I understand that. I can see that. I understand. I wanted to know who won it, and it didn't give me a definitive answer. Let me see. Maybe it'll just say. Oh no. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. I just wanted to know who won, and I'm not going to find it out right now. So we're not going to keep pushing the issue, y'all. We're going to move on, move forward. But okay, thank you guys so much for joining me for this live. My heart is definitely with DMX, and I'm kind of upset at Snoop Dogg for not saying nothing yet, because it's been days. Like, what is you doing? But anyway, let me know how you guys feel. Leave comments, like, and subscribe.